Welcome to Smash Rioting. Apparently the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Hopefully they did.
Welcome to Smash Rioting. I'm Paul. This is Justin. We are back with another episode of Smash Rioting with another review. Today, Justin has a thing for not Jack Nicholson, Nicolas Cage's films, which caught me off guard because so we're reviewing Drive Angry, and I don't like when we do text and we do say, hey, let's do these movies. I don't actually look them up until I go to watch them.
Yeah.
And soon as I typed in Drive Angry, I was like, oh, damn it, another Nicolas Cage film with Amber Heard. What the hell?
Yeah, the Amber Heard thing. The Amber Heard hate is overplayed. Shut the fuck up.
Well, no, she's a crappy actor.
No, she's not. Have we got a bad one yet? No, we haven't.
Aquaman? Look, it made it on camera this
go.
time. Without
You
further...
said Aquaman was a bad movie?
That's the sequel.
I haven't seen the sequel.
Neither have I yet, but I heard things. But without further ado, let's get into the plot.
I'm going to have to delete that video.
What?
We ranked the DC movies and we both just admitted to not watching the sequel.
That's true. But it wasn't even in our tops, I believe.
Still, though. Let's talk about Drive Angry then.
Okay.
We open to a car escape out of hell. And we got a car chase up on Earth. A guy's trying to escape in the pickup. They're shitting a brick. And they don't get far, though. The car runs them down. He gets the information he wants. That's Deacon's Tree in Stillwater, Texas. And then he shoots him. And, it's happening on the first full moon. And over at Fat Lou's Diner, we meet Piper, who's talking to one of her colleagues about Frank needing to propose to her if he wants any. But he did propose, but he just didn't get her the ring yet. Meanwhile, though, the unknown stranger Milton is in one of the booths. He's asking about the car, the Charger, which belongs to Piper, who quits after the boss gets a bit too touchy-feely with her. And she storms out and drives off, not knowing she's being followed. Turns out to be a good thing, though, because her car breaks down. He fixes it for a ride. She's like, I'll take you to this place where she lives, and then he's free to go from there. So, wait. Yes. So they speed off, and this is where we meet the accountant. He's tracking Milton down, too. But, she gets home, he goes his own way, and she goes into her trailer, finds Frank sleeping with another woman. Which is not great. She throws him out. She throws her out.
Butt naked.
Punches her in the face. And then punches Frank in the face. Frank attacks her. That's when Milton comes back, kicks him in the face, and knocks an air conditioning unit on his head. She passes out, and we do know, though, that Milton, though, is carrying a special kind of gun. We'll learn about that gun later.
Mm-hmm.
We did learn one thing from the one waitress, though, is that they did get it wrong. Stillwater is in Louisiana, not Texas, and it's a prison. So, they're on their way. We get some flashback sequences. We see a cult leader and a woman being killed and a baby. This is where we learn his name is Milton, and she agreed to get him to Louisiana as long as he doesn't, kill her.
Let's agree to disagree. Sure, yeah. Just don't kill me. I'll take you, or you can just take my car and I don't have to see you again. But
they stop off at a bar called Bull by the Balls or something like that.
Yep.
He has a bit of a run-in with someone he knows who believed he was dead, but he could stay there, but they have to be gone by dawn. And the waitress has a laugh over how expired his ID is. See, at this point, we know, but no, Piper doesn't know that she's riding with a dead guy out of hell.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, The accountant is interrogating Frank. He wants to know information. And it doesn't end well for Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
But he does recruit two cops for help who believe he's FBI. They're chasing a man who's extremely dangerous, and it's shoot to kill.
Shoot him up.
We see a news report about the cult leader, Jonah King. Do you recognize Jonah King? Did you look up who that is?
I did not.
As Billy Burke from Twilight, Bella's dad. This is what the Twilight series takes you to. Culty places.
No, I paused it for a moment because like I was like remembering the face and like yeah.
Yep, that's him.
You know,
how fucking charismatic he is, and we got fucking Billy.
I know, right?
What he could have done if those characters had.
And you know what? The worst of
emotions.
all, like when we reviewed that series, I had to pay for those films to rent them, and then they were like on fucking Hulu like the next week.
Yeah.
They were like you. But back to your original program.
Yeah, while she's watching that report, though, they actually come in. She hides out of sight, and she hears that they're here for Milton and her. Which, we get a much worse version of that making love gunfight sequence out of Shoot 'em Up here. This is so bad. It's actually the worst part of this movie. But Piper does get the last kill shot in, though, so there goes something at least.
Positive. Ends on a positive note.
She's starting to get a little bit more suspicious of him after he gets shot in the gut and he walks it off.
Yeah.
But she shoots two cops. She shoots a cop who shoots another cop, so she'd be on the hook for two cop murders. And they escape. They're just missing the accountant. He's a bit pissed off. She's a bit angry over the situation here. And he goes, they have my grandbaby. He killed my daughter. And I'm after them to get my grandbaby back. But while that's going on, the accountant has chased him down. He's driving parallel. And that special gun was for him. It just barely misses him and sends the cop car flying over the bridge. The accountant is the goddamn best thing in this movie. When he comes bursting out and he confronts the two teenagers.
Yeah.
He's like, you I'll see when you are 73. You I'll see in 6 months. And walks off.
You're right. Like, wait a minute, one of us gets to live at an old right age and somebody dies.
Now this is where we get a little bit more of the backstory. That his daughter joined a satanic cult while he was in jail. Mm-hmm. And she managed to escape, but he tracked her down, and the baby dad. And she bit off his thing, and he killed her. And they're going to use the baby to sacrifice to Satan. For power!
Making a deal with the devil.
Under the full moon, which is happening that night, I believe it is.
Yep.
Or the next, I think it's that night. But they track the cult down to a church, and they get captured immediately because they're not very smart. Why did you just walk into that church? And Milton gets shot in the head.
Still don't die. Yeah.
They kidnap Piper, and they take her off, but Milton rises up, takes out the stragglers. Time for a car chase.
Oh, yeah.
And Piper, she's fighting everyone. But she ends up having to make a retreat out of the car whenever he gets the gun. She has to make a heisty retreat out of the RV. But King shoots out the engine on the car, stopping them from giving them chase anymore. So while they're pushing it, the accountant is back at the church, grilling the survivor. And he's curious now, what's so important about Milton? What's so important to Milton? And he gets the story and what's going on, and he's very amused about this whole sacrificing babies to Satan kind of deal. So, back with the gang, they're meeting up with an old friend, Webster, who's like, no, you're dead. I carried your casket. What is going on? And what is going on is, as you put it together, he escaped from hell to save his grandbaby.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. So, with that whole plan, Webster is going to go with them to Stillwater Prison to save the baby. But he's like, no, Webster, I need you for something else. And whatever he tells him shakes him up pretty good. So, Milton and Piper go off to the church by themselves. But they're greeted right away by the accountant. He's like, you know what? You go do that. You go do that. Either they're going to put you down, and I will get what I want, or you're going to save the grandbaby, and I'm going to take you anyways. So
Either way,
go.
I get what I
But
want.
he does take the God Killer gun off of him, though.
God killer.
So the big fight starts happening. The accountant does, in fact, get involved whenever two of the people try to confront him, and allowing Piper to get the God Killer. She shoots one of the people because King dodges out of the way. But the accountant acts as a distraction just long enough for Milton to get the God Killer and puts down King. And he dies shortly after giving the baby to Piper to take care of. And Webster picks them both up. And then we learned that was a ruse all along. He was never in danger. You can't kill what's already dead. And it was just a long play by him and the accountant, who's going to take him back to hell now. He's like, if you try to put me in that hole, I'm going to escape again. He's like, yeah, I look forward to it. And the movie ends with them going back into hell.
Needless to say, there is not a sequel.
I think there was plans to. If I'm not mistaken, there was plans for a sequel.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
I'd still watch it.
Yeah.
This is like shoot 'em up light.
Yeah. I with the devil. I mean, that's.
I will say the shining star of this movie is the accountant played by William Fichtner.
Oh, he is.
He's so fucking good.
He is such a. He is born to be a villain. Like anything he shines in, he's the villain, and like he just. Like if he's not in a big role, but he's in a movie, it's a downfall right there.
Yeah.
So having him in it was a good touch.
Billy Burke was great too as Jonah King. Just so much charisma coming out of his evil self.
He was the one that was like when he was beating Milton. He was like, "This is your daughter's bone."
This is your daughter's femur. I'm gonna beat you with what's left of your daughter. I was like, is this all the like pent up frustration you had with not showing emotion for the past 4 years?
Yeah.
Because this came out in 2011, and that was the end of the Twilight.
Yeah, literally, because it was like what 08, 09.
Part 1 of Breaking Dawn was 2011.
So yeah.
So Twilight's already finished wrapping.
he had to get his freaks out. Yeah.
I even like to remember Heard's Piper. I like the fact she fought everybody. Even when she was in over her head, she was still kicking the shit out of
Yeah,
people.
like when she was like beating, like fighting Frank, like her ex-fiance or whatever. Like she's beating him, but meanwhile you're like,
there's like 100-pound weight difference here.
yeah, it's like, and I remember saying like, dude, I was like, the second that he swings on her, he's putting her down.
Yeah.
And he does.
And she crashes hard.
At the end of the day,
well, even when she's faced off with King and she knows she's going to die, she's like, yeah, but I'm going to kick the shit out of you until that moment.
I think, like, so Piper's like that always the badass you want that's just going to go and gunslinging. My thing is Nicolas Cage.
He had some moments in this movie that I really enjoyed. Like, when he's staring at the fire explaining hell. I think he showed a lot of depth in that moment. And I did like the creative take on hell, where he's like, it's not the fire that burns, it's the fact they're showing you your loved one's worst moments.
Yeah, like he's like, the worst part of hell is watching his daughter die and then take the baby like over and over.
All of the suffering his daughter went through in the cult, he had to watch.
Yeah. It's not him being in hell, it's that gets him. The thing is, like, and I said this before, I think it was like that film Purple or something he was in. There's like two different sides of Nicolas Cage. Nick Cage is or was a great actor up until a point.
Yeah.
And then it just seems like he started doing this overacting. I want to say probably 2009, 2008 and up to where it was just hard to watch him.
Yeah.
And I know we haven't like watched a lot of Nick Cage films, so far. But I'm sure we're going to. It just seems like that overacting I just can't get over. And maybe he was the weakest part of this film.
I think it helped that he was subdued here. He was a man on a mission. He was focused solely on one target.
Yeah.
And he was very much lifted by everyone around him.
Yeah, I get that. It's just...
I'll say, I watched this movie. I enjoyed it. And then I'm like, that scene at the hotel, that's just how to shoot him up. And the God-killing gun, that's really fun.
Is any action film, shooting film going to... like, we're always going to have to say, like, well, Shoot 'Em Up did it better. They did.
Yeah, no, but like that lovemaking scene was really, like, this is egregious. Because I think it was only, like, a year apart from the two of them.
And you're talking about, like, the waitress and, like, he has, like, the... Because wasn't he, like, smoking? And because Piper was in the other rooms, like, knock it down.
Yeah. Yeah, the God-killing gun, which is fun. But Supernatural is running at the exact same time with the God-killing gun.
Yeah. Drive Angry. I mean, I guess technically he was angry.
The fact that this was shot for 3D does date your effects. Because you can really tell, like, some of these are, like, really weird. And it's because it's shot in 3D.
See, I didn't realize it. I just thought
That's why you have a lot of things being thrown at the screen.
Makes sense now. Makes sense now that I...
Especially the coin. The Gallon's coin.
Okay. I get that now. I didn't realize this was shot for 3D.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what was it, first-person point of view type of shit?
Yeah, it was for 3D.
Wow, with that being said...
I can't remember what was the other movie Todd Farmer was in, but he plays the exact same character in both. He's Frank. And I can't... My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, crap! Yeah!
Yeah, he's Frank in My Bloody Valentine, too.
Frank, in My Bloody Valentine, Frank was the trucker, right?
Yep, Frank the trucker.
Jeez.
I couldn't remember what the other one was. I had to look it up real quick. Yeah, Todd Farmer.
Oh, man. I knew I seen his face. I was like, wait a minute. Who is that? Who is that? And yeah, it's Frank from My Blood. And that was... that was 2009, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So see what happened was he lost his trucking job and ended up living in a trailer with Piper. See, that makes all sense now. And then gets his ass kicked by Piper. With that being said, though, what is your grade?
Yeah, I'm going to give this an A for accountant. Because he is an A. Watch this movie just for him. Because he's amazing.
You know, I thought this movie was a fun little ride.
But when he was in that fucking fuel truck bobbing his head to the song as he's plowing through fucking cars, and he gets pressed up against a cop car and he just casually steps out.
Like, my bad. I thought this movie was a fun ride. You know, I'm not going to put in any type of award-winning category, but it was a fun ride. Nick Cage. With that being said, I'm honestly going to give it a B. I think it's one of those just fun general movies that you can just put on the TV and enjoy. So you're giving it an A.
And for accountant.
There's your alphabet, guys. A for accountant. I'm giving it a B. It was good to watch. Oh.
Yeah.
What you reading up there?
He wrote the screenplay for Jason X.
Who?
Todd Farmer. Frank the trucker.
Well, that explains.
He was the bald guy in Jason X.
Bald guy.
He was killed in the VR headset room.
Damn it! Now I'm putting this all together. I'm like, holy crap! Fuck you. Alright. That is our review for Drive Angry. Until next time.
Bye-bye.